Hey, oh, hello.
Hold on. Hi. Say hi.
Hi. Hi.
Action.
Hi. And I've just realised I didn't put the 4G on. Naughty thing.
All right, you can fix it. You
Carry
can
on a
fix
bit,
it
and
now.
sorry, guys. Hello. Right, we are. Thank you for staying on. Hey, Chloe. So, what are we on? Episode 7, Inner Power Podcast.
Yes. Tuesday, 11:11 on time.
On time. Thanks
Every
for
week.
joining. And if you're listening on the podcast, don't forget to 5-star review, leave some comments, give us some feedback. Hello. What are we talking about today?
Okay. So today we are talking about what?
If I do it now, how am I going to feel afterwards?
Yes.
So when we get that, maybe want to start a new project, or we were talking about traveling earlier, weren't we?
Yeah,
Things
did.
we maybe want to do. And sometimes, like, I used to really talk myself out of doing stuff, like quite a lot. So I thought this would be a good one today, and how we can deal with when we get that, whether it's overwhelm or a little gremlin that pops up on you. Oh, he's on that side. He's gone, sorry. But you don't do that, you'll fail. That one. Does he talk? Does your gremlin talk like that?
Yeah. Especially when I give it too much of airtime.
Yes,
and it becomes
definitely
more intense and have more reasons why I'm not supposed to be doing things,
Yes,
So.
yeah, which is never good.
It's never good.
Never good, no. So it's like little tips. It's understanding when it's happening. I think that's really, really important. And I guess we kind of talked about this on, as always, our episodes kind of all link into one. So it's little reminders, which is important because, in any type of coaching, you probably find you hear the same things over and over. I love how Instagram's bouncing all over the place today for us.
Because your elbows are on the table.
I'll take my elbows off the table. Sorry, ma'am. I think being aware of it is a really important part of understanding, and also understanding why that's happened, where's it coming from a little bit. And then once we've got that information, we'll do something about it. And prevent the little gremlin standing on your shoulder, or whatever it is, that voice that...
Can you prevent it? I think you actually learn how to work with it.
You can I like that, definitely. So you learn to work with it. But if you're aware of, but I guess when you become aware, you're learning to work with it, learning to live with it. But also you can then, born to fight, it says on that bag, you can fight against it. So like my inner demons, they may have won a lot at certain times, but they win less.
Maybe because you're more clear about what you really want and what matters to you.
Most of the time, yeah. Yeah, most of the time.
And maybe because you don't give too much airtime, just to your little gremlins, so then you take action faster.
Definitely. No, definitely.
Because I don't know if you've ever heard. Have you ever listened to... what was her name? Jesus, Mel.
Do the 5 second.
Mel Robbins.
5 second rule.
Yeah, 5 second rule.
Yes.
And she said, just don't think about it too much. You have 5 seconds actually to go and do it. Sometimes it's even less than 5. And if you give yourself more than that, you will talk yourself out of taking action. And this actually works great for people who are trying to build new connections, go and just introduce themselves to a potential contact.
Yeah.
Especially in the big gatherings, just with sales, all that stuff matters, because if you give yourself or you gremlin too much of airtime, you're more likely going to talk yourself out of taking action and moving forward. And then you're gonna be beating up on yourself for not doing what you thought would be a good idea in the first place, right?
Yes, I agree.
So I think time is very important. But first, before taking action, I think you need to become clear about what do you really want. You have to.
I think a lot comes back to that. It's knowing what we want. Like a Tony Robbins success formula is why you want it as well. The reason of why, was that Simon Sinek, right?
Yeah, very important.
Oh, we're name dropping galore today.
It did take me a while before I actually find the file, with the name. But yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Claire. Thank you very much for tagging.
Yeah.
She's a queen of tagging.
So, Real Minded UK, thanks, Ben. There are always two minds within us, the logical human and the emotional gremlin, or the chimp. Yes, the chimp paradox. The gremlin will always react much quicker. You need to acknowledge it and speak kindly to it. Yeah, so I think so that, I guess, from the chimp paradox is, I said this earlier,
You did.
I was exercising my chimp and just getting all that stuff out. And then, all right, now I can get all that emotional, I don't know, baggage, whatever you want to call it, get that bit out. And then it's easy to focus on the thing. And we did the focus drill, you know, what can you see in the room? Then you can start to focus on the things that are important. But it does take a bit of, well, it doesn't take a bit, it's a bit of a decision. Everyone's different. But yeah, it's something that's evolved, say, with me over time. But once I realized that, we're going to have that fear, and there's many acronyms, you know, that used for fear, but it's false emotions, peer and real, whatever. So we may feel anxious about it, I don't know. But all these things, like for me, from like self-defense, martial arts, I was always taught that your body feeling this way is like, we're ready to go. I'm ready to do this now. When it's like something that's, you know, going to benefit me, obviously. So it's easier to then to move forward and, you know, use that emotion for what I need it to you know, to switch that emotion around. Okay, well, I'll use this now, and yeah, I'm a bit nervous. I'm worried what may happen. But if I start focusing on like it going right, but how are we going to feel afterwards? Yeah, how are we going to feel afterwards? And that, I think that comes a lot down to the reason why. So something I did years ago, and we still do it. Say, we're at my martial arts centre at the moment, but so talking to people that maybe want to get started in martial arts, so, you know, I want that, we really like that commitment that they're going to go on. So we use maybe a bit of a principle of, where are you right now? You know, how were things before? Well, the past is gone. A lot of people are moving away from a pain of some sort. And we want that carrot at the end. We want to, so how are we going to feel afterwards? So we do like the vision of, it's a bit like the Christmas Carol, you know, when the ghosts come to visit. And it goes back to the past and over some of the things that are nice, and then the, you know, the poor choices that were made. It's gone. This is where we are now. This is what's happening. We want to make a change because generally I think most people subconsciously, we want to improve. Like for me, I just want to grow. I want to improve myself, develop myself. Then looking forward, so the ghost of Christmas future. But looking at on, like, well, if you do this thing that you're going to start out on, and how are you going to feel like a year down the line? Or, like, seeing yourself and having like real bright, like visualization. I love putting like bright colors in there, and almost, I don't know, you'd have that in Poland. We used to have an advert in the UK for ready bread porridge. So anyone that had this ready bread, they'd go around with this like this red glow around them. So it's all, you know, things like that are really powerful visualization, like getting nice bright colors, and you almost got this big aura glow. So you're feeling great. But obviously there's we'll probably talk about it in a minute, but keeping it nice and short and sweet on that sense, visualizing that. And everyone's like, oh, I've got a nice warm fuzzy feeling inside of me. I've achieved this thing I want to do, and I feel good for it, and I feel stronger, I feel fitter, I feel I can put my mind to anything. And then, okay, but if you don't make that change, what's going to happen? So it was using a bit of yin and yang, all right, the good and the bad, and putting combining them. So if you don't take this decision now, which you know is going to be good for you, what will happen if you don't do it? How are you going to feel afterwards? I think it's quite a powerful thing, and you can always then, it was always found if someone's having a bit of wobble, I could always come back to that conversation. Remember, and it was, that was my reason why, because you, as you know, like you've competed in various different things, like the training on that is tough, it's intense, and there's always a day maybe we feel, you know what, not today. Or what am I doing? Am I good enough? Stuff that's just got in our heads over, you know, course of living, really. I have it. I have it with this place and some of the other businesses I got. It's like, what am I doing? Like, what? What are you doing? But no, keep going. And I just, like, for me, I focus on the goal I want, why do I want it, and then I bring it down to bite-sized chunks. Well, I just need to get to this stage for now. I don't need to worry about the other bits that I don't know anything about yet.
Bit by bit.
Bit by bit.
I think, you know, one of the reasons why people are scared of taking actions is because...
Where's George? Sorry.
George has COVID.
Yeah, he's had to self-isolate.
Yeah, he has to self-isolate. Now, George is fine, just watching us and just checking if the quality of video is just on point, right?
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted again. Yeah.
So, where was I? Okay, what stops people from taking actions? Because I find that from what I know, what I've experienced, what I've learned from working with my clients, they often have this big goal, right? And they think about the bigness, the size of it, and that makes them freeze, so they don't take action. So what we tend to do, we tend to break it down into smaller chunks, and we don't have to have answers to all of the questions right at the beginning. We accept is the process, and we're just taking, like you said earlier, one step at the time, and we are just seeing what is coming out of it. And as you do that, bit by bit, with those small steps, your confidence grows. And so then you have access to better ideas. And even if something, feels kind of scary because you have more trust to yourself, you keep going. You keep going. So I think this is the thing. Because I even had the conversation with my client yesterday, and she said, I want to achieve this, let's say by March. And then you could tell her face expression completely changed, because she was like, you could imagine this massive question mark, just showing up. That was her face expression, saying like, but how am I gonna do it? So we just sat down and we just broke it down week by week. And we did it for 4 weeks first, because there's no point going ahead. Plans might be changing, right? During those 4 weeks, we can just take a turn and just do something different in order to get where she wants to get by March. But we did very small and achievable goals. That's what we did set. And she was like, I feel more comfortable now. I feel like I can move forward.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can do it. Because it's all, also about the trust and believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Some people have like past failures, and they think, okay, that didn't work out, so probably this is not gonna work out, so why even try? But when you understand, or you explain to people, or even explain to yourself, because I think I've experienced that myself, and you probably did too. You understand that was then, and this is now. I have more tools to use. I have more knowledge, to use. So who said it has to be like it was before? And
Definitely.
and then you just you're applying all this knowledge, all this wisdom, and you just take this one step at a time.
Do you think it's like a fear of like failing that people
A lot. And there's another thing, everything what's new, it's unfamiliar to you.
Yeah, definitely. Don't know what you don't know.
Yes. So fear will be kicking in, and your ego will try to keep you, just where you are, because it's safe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you understand that this is just normal, reaction, and it will always be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you understand, the action, when you're starting to feel uncomfortable, this is the sign that you're growing, you're expanding.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you accept this, you just put your fear in your backpack and you take it with you, and then you just take this step out, and you're just gonna go and see what's gonna come out of it. And what I personally find, because obviously I stepped out of my comfort zone on numerous occasions, I found that when I kept doing that on a regular basis, I felt more comfortable with doing that.
Yes.
But then when I stopped, I felt uncomfortable not stepping out of the comfort zone. Because the reaction and how I was feeling when I was finding that I'm strong enough, that I am actually capable of doing the thing that I said I was going to do, was giving me such a buzz that when I was staying in this comfort zone and I didn't have that buzz, I was like, there was something missing. It's not enough. I have to just go into something.
Totally get what you're on about. Yeah,
so.
Totally get that. Yeah, I think for a while, maybe around the end of last year, definitely, I'll go through phases of that, where it's just, I need the next thing. I need the next part that I need to do, or whatever it is. Yeah, and I know around the end of last year, I was thinking of doing a few different things, wasn't a bit sure, but I started feeling uncomfortable because I wasn't getting uncomfortable. So that's kind of what you mean, isn't it? And I guess in a lot of my training was, you just got to get comfortable with feeling uncomfortable, and it often was. So I'll share a story actually, so to kind of how this works. So a year ago, I was considering doing maybe a bit more different type of coaching, but part of me, I've been doing that. Does that make sense? And then, as you know, I bought a new business in May, just about completing another one. So even it was something that's very new. So did a course on some stuff, and I set this goal at the beginning of the year. I was going to buy 6 businesses, and how I did it, I had no idea I was going to do it. It was just a big goal I set. Now I knew it was a massive goal to have 6 businesses that. And not ones that are failing or anything like that. They had to be at a certain place. It couldn't be like massive because I wouldn't be able to afford that. Now I knew 6 was going to be a lot, and people, oh, that's just, you're crazy, whatever. Now I'm not going to get my 6, but I don't care because I had to set, for me, I knew I had to set it so big to get the 1.
Okay.
If that makes sense. And then I had to commit myself to another course to make sure I got the 1. So got the 1, that's come through. So it would have been 3, but we had, one just hasn't worked out basically. So I'm just about to complete on the second one. So, oh no, it wasn't by this year. Sorry, 6 by the end of next year. So in some respects, I'm on track. It looked like I was going to have halfway there by the end of this year. But if I don't get my 6, it doesn't bother me, even if I've told the whole world. I'm still ninja coaching, definitely. I love it. I'm still going to be focused on my 6. I'd rather set a massive goal and fall short of that. And I think I kind of got that principle from reading Grant Cardone 10X Rule, and then just putting that 10 times effort in. Now, bring it back to when I set that goal, like going through the various stages. If I looked at it all in one big hit, it was just going to overwhelm me. So I own a beauty salon now. I know I can make that work as a business. Yeah, you can tell, got my things. So no, I don't know about beauty, but I know about business. I know how to make that work. I know how to turn it around. So I was confident in myself in that. The process, get into it, no. So the first stage, just sent out a load of letters, and I thought, right, do not think beyond there right now. I will find that bit out when I get to that stage. Like, so I had my end goal. I knew what I had to do, but how I went about doing stage 2, I didn't want to think about while I was on stage 1. Stage 1 came, right now I'm on stage 2. Right now, research. Let's go to stage 2. And even with the one we're about to complete on, even though I've gone through that process, it's a slightly different purchase, like how we're taking that on. So there'll be things within that, like even now I'm thinking, oh God, dude, that's going to be different. So by the end of the year though, I'm going to be confident in these 2 different ways. Yeah. If that makes sense. And then the next one will be a little bit easier, and the next one will be a bit easier, and then there we go. And the part of it was, I just wanted, I like for me, it was, what was the why? Well, I love helping, love doing things. I just wanted a different angle on it. You know, so for the beauty side of things, it gives so much, it gives a lot of confidence. You know, people feel more confident, you know, in themselves, you know, in maybe how they're looking. And I was quite particular on how the avenue I was going to take on that sector as well, if that makes sense. So, yeah, so it was how can I do what I do, what I love, find something a little bit different, a bit more of a challenge, and I know I can make it work, basically. I got a great team behind me, obviously. I know Frank was one over here.
Of course. She's invisible.
She's invisible.
Yeah. Ninja.
Great hairdresser. Yeah, so I do my own hair, Claire. I cut my own hair.
Well, that's why I was admiring you.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is very interesting because I was going to ask you as you were talking about it, what excites you about all of those new ventures?
It's the challenge. It is absolute the challenge. Yeah, I've obviously we've learned some new things. It's the challenge. It's you know, meeting new people. I can't say too much about the one that's gone through, but it resonates so much. Like you would love it there. It's got that spiritual aspect to it as well. So it's just it's that challenge. It's something different, and it, you know, like I said, I have to feel like I'm growing. If I stay still, it's too much. You know, before you know, we were preparing for today's podcast, and we were talking about, you know, if it was too still, like we go a bit crazy.
Oh yeah.
So it just that challenge.
work.
Yeah.
But I've got another
But I
question.
didn't want to be. I didn't want to be working either. I'm a lazy. No, I'm not.
Well, it's about being smart.
Yeah,
You know? So
yeah.
you
It was just working smart, right?
Yeah. Another question is the love to challenge that you feel something what you always had within you, or is it something what you gathered, just or learned loving through your experiences?
I think through my experiences academically, at school, like my school grades aren't that great, but my self-belief was different then as well. So I would hone in on negative parts of a school report, and when I've gone back to look at them as an adult, actually they weren't that bad, but for some reason I seem to hone in on this negative for whatever reason. So kind of wanted stuff, but maybe didn't have that full self-belief or confidence in myself. Even when I was at college studying electrical engineering, even when I became an electrical engineer, I think a lot of the reason I didn't like it, I didn't feel confident as one. Now, that might be because of something that was said to me, but I've listened to it. So I got to take that. I got to take that accountability. It kind of, oh yeah, I like that, yeah. So I think then that's why I always credit my martial arts instructor, Stephen Thompson, because he obviously seen something within me, put a lot of trust into me, invested into me, and then just knew how to bring out that best in me, basically. So great coach. Probably the first great coach in many aspects, not just martial arts. It was a lot of mentor. It was obviously taught me about the business side of things as well. It was hard. It was tough. But it was something I wanted to do. And then when this became my business, I guess I had that passion to learn a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have been interested in before. Like I love learning about Facebook and the marketing side of things. So it became more, I became quite passionate about that. And then with the podcast that I did before, with the Mindset Explosion, it was a way of getting out what I taught in class, but without the physical aspect. Because that I think that was always my unique selling point, is like the mindset, or the we just call it like leadership development or personal development, but not just your normal it's discipline, it's courtesy, it's respect. Those things are they should come, because I'm talking about martial arts now, but they should come in martial arts anyway. But I was encouraged to listen to like Tony Robbins and Brian Tracy. So that was always going in my ear. So I was constantly learning and evolving. And I guess when I came to Cheltenham, open up the first academy for my instructor, like growing that from nothing, it just boosts your confidence. Didn't know what I was doing, but I remember then, just get me in there. That's all I think, and that's the same with taking on these new businesses. Just get me there. I can do it. So my self-belief patterns have really grown, evolved, and changed. I'm very careful what I say to people, because I didn't talk too much about some of the businesses that the ideas I was doing. I was very selective on who I spoke to about it and what I spoke to them about, because I knew it was maybe a concept that was a bit out there. Well, you're going to buy 6 businesses? How are you going to do that without any money? So how are you going to do that? How is it? So I didn't want any negative coming in. I was very careful.
People can talk you out of taking action because they project their own, limiting beliefs on you.
But I don't think they would have talked me out of it. I just didn't want that there.
That's fine.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. 100%. Like in the past, like I had it when I changed from engineering to an instructor, and it was just I would like justify anything, but I found I was having these well, why are you doing that? That's crazy. You've got a really good career, and why you're going to go to this? You're not going to earn as much. It's like, well, it doesn't have to always be about money.
Yeah.
It's not about money. It's about me being happy. Really, having that. Best pay I get is time.
So this is interesting, because what I hear from you as well is this, that you learned your confidence, through taking action.
Yeah, definitely.
And now, as you've got this confidence, and you take on, new challenges with this confidence that is, just a really strong part of you now. You said I don't want to share it with people because I don't want them there. because they could not talk me out of it. If you didn't have that confidence which you worked on by taking action, they could talk you out of it.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. You're right.
Because if you didn't believe in yourself, then you were thinking, oh gosh, what if they are right? You know?
Yeah, I think it's just like it's probably a different subject, and we may have covered it, but it's about who I surround myself with and what I hate negativity. I think we all do. We all have it, right? Me and you sometimes have a little bit of offload before we come in, and then I think that clears our head up, and then we're focused again and we're ready to go. So that's okay. It's okay to talk about negative stuff, right?
Yeah, but you make this conscious choice, you know, how you want to feel. You
exactly.
don't have to brew, on something what makes you feel bad.
No.
Simple as.
And I knew, obviously people, they care, and when it's, well, what are you doing that for? What? They're just a bit worried. So, but I don't want their fears. I've got my own,
that completely.
you know what I mean? Yeah, it's, control the fears that are coming into you. Ask their fears about something, because I think, if people, like, when I spoke to people about it, like how I was going to do it, of course it's like, well, that just sounds so easy. And it is so easy. That's the crazy bonkers thing. It is so easy, but it's still that what if, and it's just getting past that what if, and can I do this? How you be able to do it, and take that first step.
And what if, you could, for example, you're expecting that after that there will be something negative coming. What if you change, to something positive? What if it's gonna work out? What if it's gonna be easier than I thought?
Something always stuck for me with my, again, Stephen Thompson, my instructor, and I think we were doing some self-defense one day in class, and someone said, oh, but what if they do this? And this has always stuck for me now. And this is before I was an instructor. He said, well, what if it rains and you haven't got an umbrella? You're going to get wet. That's it. Or you'll deal with it. You'll go and buy an umbrella. So what if is, for me, if I think too much about, again, it goes back to what we focus on. If I think about the what if this, don't get me wrong, I do. I have to, I just prepare for those things. And then some things, I just have to deal with it, won't we? We'll work that bit out as it happens. And there's still things that's like, I don't want to have to be mindful of it, because if then it becomes stress or anxiety, and I'm worried about something that's not happened yet. And will it happen? Maybe it happen. It's like, right, just focus on now.
Are you very focused on, for example, dates? Like, for example, you say to yourself that I want to achieve this within 3 months. Are you very much like that?
Yeah, so when I was going to purchase the first one, I'd set a goal with my mentor that I'd get that within the first 6 months. And it looked like it was going to happen in the first 3, but things just took time. But let's say the end of next year, so I've said I want 6 by the end of next year. I may change that goal a little bit now, because as I'm settling into things, like, okay, I ain't stupid. I don't want to overwhelm myself. And that's what people are saying is, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. So if I don't get 6, that's okay. I'll be closer to it.
So you
know what I mean?
I hear, you're actually flexible about the date and about the
goal.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
How does that make you feel?
I don't make me feel anything. I'm not worried about it. Get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Yeah. I think maybe before that could have upset me. But even when I was doing my training, I wasn't worried about when I was going to achieve my black belt. To be honest, I didn't even think much about it then. It wasn't, the emphasis on it wasn't quite the same. I just thought, wow, if I get it, I get it. I don't care.
Oh, this is quite interesting.
But it was different then. I was a different person.
So some people, when they want something like, their life depends on the goal.
Yeah.
I think when they are not flexible in their approach, it's painful when they are not getting it, on a set time, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, the goal that you set for yourself, and you said, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Are you trying to tell me that I do like the idea of having it, but I'm not stressed about it?
Yeah, because I know if something doesn't work out, it's going to... So initially, when the beauty salon is by chance. That is by chance that's happened. Because initially, it was a gym with a beauty salon attached. So it just opened my eyes up to something else. So I was thinking, well, I'll just go for another martial arts place or a gym or something around the fitness industry. The next one we're going to take on is a beauty spa. And I think it just got tied up within, and it's someone I can't say. I can't say, damn it. I kind of know them. But I'm really excited about. So my goal was, I'll get something within the fitness industry, blah, blah, blah. And now it's just shifted into more of a different type of, and I know I can make it work because it's service at the end of the day. That's what we do here. We serve. You serve.
I do.
Yeah, most people, we do service stuff. So I don't necessarily, I just know how to make it work. I know how to make it work. Don't need to know how to do the nails or the anti-aging treatment that they do. I just know if we do this bit, these people are going to enjoy it. They're going to want to stay, and how to nurture, the clients and learn at the same time, because everyone's different, and finding out, what's the ideal client. So this bit, no problem. That bit I'm fine with.
I think you're very clear about your why.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what keeps you going.
Yeah, and actually, you might have seen this as well, and being in coaching, people set goals and they do evolve into something else.
Yeah.
And I learn from that. I learn it's okay. So if you set something big, massive, it's going to change. But you've just set yourself on a great path, a great thing, and you are absolutely going to enjoy that journey. And it's okay if it changes. It will do.
I do like that.
Yeah, it will do. Like people that come in and start martial arts, and then they or have done the fitness, and then they've gone into, what, actually, I've really enjoyed this, but it's opened me up to different things. And then they go on to doing running, which they may have never done before, or onto lifting. So that's great. We've helped set that motion forward.
Yeah.
I talk a lot about one young man who was unconfident, used to cry in his first class, and I think we was doing goal setting in class one day, and he said, I'm going to get an Oscar. I was like, that's brilliant. He didn't get an Oscar. You never know yet, because it still happened. But now he's working as a drama, something to do around drama. Mm-hmm. So someone who was shy, getting bullied, unconfident, went to his confidence gone whoosh, set a goal being as a child, wanted to get an Oscar, and his path just changed a little bit. Last time I seen him, he popped in, he said, I just got a job at a private school in London. I'm teaching, around the theatre.
Nice.
Brilliant. So all from setting that goal, and like you said, taking that little bit, those action steps on it. So think how you feel afterwards. Can't even begin to imagine, can you?
Express it.
No, you can't begin to imagine. I used to say, I wish I had a crystal ball. I wish I could paint you this picture. Mm-hmm. And if you stay on it, then your goal may shift a little bit. Like your goals must have changed loads.
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
a lot. And you know very well, that I competed, for example, in 5 different disciplines.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was competing for the first time, I didn't know what to expect, but I loved the feeling afterwards.
Yeah.
And I also learned that I wasn't so goal-oriented. Well, okay, let me rephrase it. When people compete, there's only 3 medals, right?
Yeah.
It was gold, silver, and bronze. My focus wasn't going on medals. My focus was going to go and perform and be amongst those who actually prepped themselves and stepped on stage or just competed.
Yeah.
Because I like competing.
Yeah.
For competing.
Yeah.
And getting the best out of me. And whether I was going to be 1st or 10th, it didn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was still aiming to do my best.
Yeah.
But if I didn't get to first 3, it was no big deal. I was still feeling like a winner. And I loved that feeling.
But you always got the first 3, didn't you?
Not always
you did
first.
a few not always, but you did a few times.
I did.
Pick yourself up, Angg.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is,
Yeah.
even in the last type of competition I did, which was completely different to everything else what I did before.
Yeah.
It was stepping on stage in a bikini competition.
Yeah.
Right. So I stepped out of my comfort zone, not only because I prepped myself for this kind of show.
Yeah.
I had to go there in bikini, which means I had to actually be pretty much, almost naked, and for me it was like, oh my gosh, I never showed myself,
Yeah,
that way I never competed that way. I was always fully dressed up.
Here's the reason I lost that.
You're horrible,
I was doing all right till Ange turned up.
Hold on, I need to do this now.
We haven't laughed yet in this podcast, so...
Oh, no, it was too
I
deadly
realise it's
serious.
time for a bit of a
It
laugh.
was too deadly serious. But this is the thing, you know, people don't understand what sort of challenges you're going through.
No.
You know? And if I didn't step on other stages, didn't compete, you know, I would probably not be so brave to take another challenge on. But I just love the fact that I can go and just test myself and see, you know, what's going to come out of it. But I didn't attach myself or my worthiness to the outcome, if that does make sense.
It does make sense.
There are many people
Yeah,
who think,
yeah.
okay, I've done this and I didn't as well as I wanted to, so I must be failure. No, you're not failure. You prepped yourself for it.
Yeah.
You went out for it. You tried it. You tested it, you know, so good for you. This is brilliant. Take another thing on, just find out how you're going to feel after that. You know, for me personally, it was a great feeling. I felt like I was a winner. I was my own winner.
Yeah.
And I did it for myself.
Yeah.
You know, and I think this is one of the words of wisdom I could share with people. Like, just do it for you,
Yeah.
not to impress anyone.
No, 100%.
Just for yourself, for your own satisfaction and the feeling afterwards. Because it's amazing, like you said.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
It is amazing. And like, you'll learn. So even with this, you know, what I spoke about as well, which I might add, that's probably quite important. There was one we were about to complete on, and I don't want to say too much in case they're watching. I don't want to upset anyone, but I had to pull out in the end. Lost a lot of money, an awful lot of money, which could have gone to other stuff. But I could see, found my gut for a while, it wasn't going to be what we were hoping it to be. So it's okay to step away. So is that a failure? Yes and no. Do I care? Not really.
I don't think it's a failure.
No,
You
I don't
just
think it's a
change the
failure. Yeah.
plan.
The failure could be I've lost a lot of money, and that's it. But money, you can always get back money.
Well, that's another thing.
Yeah, it's just a bit of paper, really. I don't mean that as in, hey, I don't think I'm rolling it at all for 1 second. But I couldn't let that be my driving factor to carry on, because mentally, well, probably would end up losing more. That's how I was starting to feel. I might be wrong, but we're here now, so it was on to the next one. And it's a massive, massive learning curve. Massive.
So that's win.
Yeah, definitely. So, and even at the beginning, it has to be win-win, or we can't move forward. So
We can always change the direction. Right?
exactly.
This
exactly.
is it. So I think, you know, the fact that you pulled out from something what didn't feel right, didn't sit well with you anymore, was the smartest decision ever. Right?
Yeah, no, 100%.
And I think this is not failing, you know, just by any means. It's just being smart. You know, what's the point, you know, putting your energy, time, money, anything, everything, you know, just in, if you know you're probably going to fail. I think you just
that would have been
you just shorten the pain. You know,
Yeah,
like, that's it. It is not
exactly,
working for me. I have to
exactly.
change the strategy. So, but I am not done. You know, I'm
Yeah.
just going other
No,
direction.
definitely. But I think it's important to understand is like, don't worry about it. You'll find a solution, and even if it's not quite the way you want it, something else will come along, which is where I'm at the moment. That was quite a surprise. Where the one we're working towards now.
I think you just created space for it.
Yeah,
Sometimes
definitely.
you have to let something
Oh,
go.
100%. Yeah.
So you can create space for something new
Let
to
go
come.
the old,
Yes.
welcome in the new. That should be another podcast episode.
That connects with the card we pulled out today.
It did, yeah. Have you got it handy?
Yeah, well,
If you're on Instagram, follow us on Instagram. If you check the stories for today, and you'll see. But they're in the highlights. I generally put them in the
they
highlights.
are in the highlights. Hold on, I'm just digging in the bag of goodies.
So, but yeah, I think, and with anything, so how you feel afterwards, always letting go of old to welcome in something new anyway. There it is.
There it
What does it say? Spirit keeper of the north. What
Yes.
was the meaning behind it? Can you remember?
So there's two sides of the moon, right?
We were just
Light and
talking,
the
we've
dark.
been literally talking about the moon and this card come out.
And this, obviously, as you look at the picture, I don't know if you can see it properly. Here, okay. It's also winter, right? So winter is a time when you're supposed to actually redraw, recuperate, generate your energy, just go within, think what you should let go of, so you can then, you know, just start something new and fresh. Dark side of the moon means endings, right? So there is
So funny. I'll tell you in a minute.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So the dark side of the moon, means ending, something comes to the end, which means the cycle is finishing. But after that, there's always another cycle, new cycle, fresh beginning. And the light side of the moon would signify that, something is going to happen. But in order for that, you have to just let something go first, So this is what the card was about today. And it's funny how we just rolled it in
Oh yeah, we were talking about it. But funny, this morning I woke up and I'd just been thinking about, I think of things in the past because I'm a human being.
Yeah.
Just some stuff. And it was just ticking over my head a little bit. It's almost, it just clicked back in. So I was aware of it. So I was like, oh, wish that hadn't happened. But it's happened, it was like years ago. So it's just funny, it's making me laugh because it's like, oh, I'm moving forward now. So with something else. But I can't say because it's personal.
Keep it quiet.
Zip it. Yeah, I just, like a little bit of emotions and stuff, and then I cried. No, I didn't.
I was just going to look for tissues.
Was you?
Yes.
Yeah, you rushed to your bag then, didn't you?
Like, I got a bag of goodies, Lots of good stuff.
No, so anyway, went off real sidetrack
As usual.
As usual. Well, we're coming up to near the end. So, look, I guess the recap is set some big goals. You don't have to wait till January. Now's a good time.
Oh, this is another thing, New Year resolution. Jesus, right? Don't wait for New Year resolution. That never works. Really doesn't. Or hardly ever, You can have your New Year resolution and start it tomorrow. Wow, how about that?
Hey, get it. Yeah, you'll get ahead of the game as well.
Yeah.
So now's a good time to start stuff, I think. And then you can reflect back at the end of the year. I do like doing that. I like to look back down the mountain a little bit and see what's changed. And then that helps me then set the new goals I'm going to be going for.
Well, I think it also helps you to realize how far you've come. You have to just, again, give yourself a pat on your back and say, look, you're doing really good. And it doesn't matter how fast you're moving. This is another thing, You don't have to go always 100 miles an hour. Sometimes you can just pull along, You still keep moving. You have to.
Yeah.
You can't just go full on all the time.
I'm not as busy as I may look, but I'm busy.
That's not smart.
Smart, yeah, definitely is smart. I've learned to work smart, and that then crazy hard because I've done the burnout thing, and my hair fell out, as you could tell.
But you've learned something from it, right? So, have you failed? No, you haven't. It was just life lesson, right?
Oh yeah, everything's a life lesson, definitely.
Well, and if you can take it, like that, you think, okay, I've learned, this kind of approach doesn't work for me, and what do I want to do next, and how I want to do it.
Yeah, and I guess this morning how I was feeling when I woke up, thinking about something from my past, in the last few years, whatever it was. Anyway, it was a lesson. It's just always a lesson.
It is.
Good experiences, bad experiences, cardboard box. That's a dance. I got mixed up.
Oh, you got totally mixed up, but that's what I do every day.
So think about, things you've done in the past. So when you succeeded, how did you feel afterwards after that? And then, look ahead, easy peasy. Start with why, and you'll achieve more of it. Thank you, Claire. Such a nice comment. Thank you. Before we go, Ange, we got a special guest next week, haven't we?
Oh, we have. We're not going to tell you who it is, but I will tell you one thing. She is amazing. And she will be talking to us about quantum healing.
Quantum healing? Oh, my God. And she's joining us from Australia.
Yes. Joining us from Australia live. So please join us because you're going to be able to ask her questions if you're going to have any. And I think you can be nicely surprised with the answers. I'm really
looking forward to this one. Yeah, I'm quite curious about this. So tune in next week, same time. And of course, if you listen on the podcast or if you listen on a rerun, #rerun. If you listen on the podcast, drop us a nice 5-star review. Just do it anyway. Why not? Why wouldn't you? Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Have a great
Check us out.
week.
We're going to make a nice reel soon, so find us on Instagram.
We're going to have some fun. Bye.
Adios, amigos. And señoritas.
Ciao.